Hi, welcome to Your World with Prakash Kapila. In this episode, we have a wonderful issue that we need to go through regarding the Hindenburg report. So, like previous episode that I have told about more episodes in line of the Hindenburg report. So, let's talk about something which is very systemic in nature. One of the major issues that Hindenburg has said was about the money laundering. So, what is this money laundering? How this money laundering happens, and what is the basic things that a banks or financial institutions must do to prevent this? There is an elaborate law in India, elaborate rules and regulations that RBI has put forward. That is in line with all the AML anti-money laundering steps that people should take, or the financial institutions should take, must take. Okay, so in a bank, if you go and deposit any money, right? So they will ask you, where did you get this money from? You would say, I got this money from my business activities. And then what will happen is it goes behind the clerk to the compliance department, and the compliance guy goes through each one of the things that you have told. Like, for example, if you're investing 1 crore and you're saying, I got this from running an auto rickshaw or running a laundry shop, or you say, I have $10 million and I got this from running my laundry shop. So then it becomes a suspicious transaction, and then the whole process goes: suspicious transactions, suspicious activity reports, and these reports should go to the police, they have to go to the RBI, they have to go to the ED, they have to go to different agencies with regards to the as and when the amount becomes bigger and bigger. Even for small amounts, the process is same. As soon as the compliance officer takes a look at the compliance officer or a compliance person, it could be a teller, it could be a bank manager, looks into a transaction and says, this transaction doesn't look normal, then the whole thing goes. So what did the Hindenburg say in the report against Adani? The major one about money laundering is there have been many companies that are outside of India that have put money into Adani's enterprise, right? Let's see, this is Adani Enterprise, and there are many companies that have put money into this enterprise. So these enterprises did not have a valid operation, did not have a valid business, whether it's securities business, whether it's any other business. They should be operational. One, they should be operational. Two, they should have the transactions, a series of transactions in such a way that they can afford that particular money. So we're talking about $1 billion, which is like, at today's market price, it is 8,000 crore rupees. Even 5 years ago, it was like 7,000 crore rupees, 7,500 crore rupees. During 2000, it is like 6,000 crore rupees. These are not small amounts. When you have such a huge amount, then your turnover should be in a line of, in the lien of, at least $50 billion. So it's simple, right? If you have 50 rupees, you give 1 rupee. So someone who is promoting into Adani's money should have a business that's in terms, that's a multiple of what that person is giving. So this is the basic common sense. This basic common sense must first be verified by the promoting agency. So if I am Adani, if I am Gautam Adani, I am taking money of $1 billion, then I should know that this particular person is doing some business which can generate say $100 billion or $50 billion or multiples of 1 billion. Otherwise I should not take, right? That is the rule, that is the regulation. So even though if I take, now comes the other important aspect of what this money is. What is this dirty money? What is this money laundering money? So it's not like, someone has not paid taxes and they are, somehow siphoning off that money into the account. Nobody has that much amount of money. And even if they have that much amount of money, they wouldn't do it in a one full shot. Okay. Say if you don't pay $1 billion taxes in India, that means your annual revenue should be around 1,000 crores. At least 50,000 crores, because 6,000 crores or 7,000 crores worth of money is being diverted. Then you should have 70,000 crores or 80,000 crores that you have transacted and you have covered it up. So that kind of transactions are hopefully not viable. So that means if how a black money comes in, say you are trying to sell your property, you're trying to sell your home, and the purchaser will say, I'll give you 60% of that in white money and I'll give you 40% of that in untaxed money. So it will be on that. I don't know for sure if it will be 60-40, 70-30 or 100-0. Those things are not known, but general context is that you get a small part of the sale in terms of non-taxed money and large part of the sale as a taxed money. So untaxed money to the tune of some thousands and thousands and thousands of crores is not possible in India. You can never have such amount of money through a normal sale or a normal economic activity that you can siphon off, right? So those kind of sales can happen with only few things. One, you're doing stock manipulation. Two, you're doing smuggling. Three, there is a dirty money involved. What is this dirty money? Dirty money is, simply put, the drug money. So the drugs, it is very, very, very important to know that drugs is an international business. It's not just local. There is no local drug. The drugs that come to anybody or that anybody uses has got international, so much international that they surpass even your software, right? So for example, you are buying Microsoft Word or Apple phone. That Apple phone is made in Taiwan or some other company in China, and then assembled somewhere, and then the software installed somewhere else, and then it comes to your local store. But a drug is something that grows in a particular field. It then is cultivated, it then is changed, and then it takes a lot of transformation, and through those transformations it goes across the boundaries of the countries, and it's an international. You should look into the network that we have provided in the slides. It's a huge network, and those networks are very, very prominent even in India. Enforcement Directorate, DRI, they all try to catch a lot of people in so many ways. So if they are catching, it means the drugs exist, right? So you are catching something means maybe you are catching 90%, but still the 10% exist. So the drugs are there in India. There is a drug money, and this drug money has to somehow come into the banks. Normally they cannot come into the banks. Nobody can sell drugs and just go to a bank manager and say, hey, I'm going to deposit that money, because the immediate thing is, where do you get the money? How did you get the money? So the kind of money that you're investing and you're depositing and the kind of money that you generate must match. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So in such kind of scenarios, what the bank manager would do is immediately would talk to the police saying that, okay, this is the amount of money that is invested or deposited. So therefore, and the drug money, believe me or not, the drug companies are more organized, very, very organized than any of your normal companies. The top-down hierarchy through which the decision flows is very tight. You can, not only in movies, but still there are so many documentaries of how drugs have been flowing. So in India, if we come to the context of India, there are two kinds of big drugs. Marijuana is is a different thing, but two different drugs come to India. One is amphetamine, the other one is cocaine. The cocaine drug is coming through Venezuela, Colombia, and the amphetamine, methamphetamine or amphetamine, I don't know exact name, that is coming from Afghanistan. Right, amphetamine is coming from Afghanistan route. So it is going to Pakistan, it is coming to India. The slide tells you the different routes that are there. There are even reports that Iran has got direct links to Venezuela and Colombia, where it directly turns a flight. So the flight carries the only cargo being drugs. So the drugs move back and forth between Colombia to Iran and then to every other place. So Afghanistan to Europe to America to South America to, the network is humongous. It is more network than any other company that you can imagine. So South America is basically the biggest exporter of drugs. Any country, Brazil, Argentina, Bolivia, Colombia, Venezuela, all of them, and Mexico, all of them are big exporters of drugs. They have, over a period of time, streamlined the whole operation, and that streamline has come to India also. In India also, we have lots of drugs in our streets, and that money is going directly to Afghanistan, and where from Afghanistan it is going. So this huge network of money, huge network of crime is stopped by simple logic, and that simple logic is called suspicious transaction report. Simple suspicious transaction report will trigger off alerts in your police station. It'll trigger off alerts in your enforcement directorate, director of revenue intelligence and customs, every other place, right? One single transaction can actually close off lots of drug operations. So in this context, RBI has laid out very elaborate rules of how to prevent this. And in one of the clauses, which we'll show here, is know your customer. So money laundering is basically moving this dirty money into a normal bank so that you can take it out and use it as you have your own salary kind of thing. So from a shady drugs to the bank, there are many channels that this drug money follows, and one of the important channel is stock manipulation, stock promotion. Why? Because in stock promotion, the amount of money taken is huge. Nobody comes for saying, I want 1,000 rupees, I want 2,000 rupees. Everybody will say, I want 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores. So kind of that kind of money movement can happen only with stock manipulation or stock promotions. And what Hindenburg has said is, Adani has got $1 billion from unknown transactions, 500 million from unknown companies, 300 million from another unknown company. The list is there, like 3 or 5 different list of companies where the amount of money is like $250 million, more than that, like $936 million, $500 million, $230 million. So this kind of money needs tracking. Where did you get the money? How did you get the money? When did you get the money? And why are you investing? These are important things that a company should know, or an investment party should know. So now comes the role of the banks, right? So SBI and LIC are big investors, right? They may be investing only 1% of the total money they have. That's bullshit. Even if you're investing 1 rupee, you have to get to know where the promoters got money, where the investors got money, where the issue is, where the issuers got money. You should know it. This is RBI regulations. One of the other regulations that RBI has is, as when you are in the KYC, you have to not only look at your customers' relation with their investors and others, you should also know about the investors who are investing in that customer. What is the connectivity? If any one of them has got any cases, then you should go away. You should not be there, because it's a reputational risk. Your reputational risk is going to be high. When your reputational risk is high, you cannot invest people's money, right? So when you cannot invest people's money, how did LIC? So there are two issues that come in picture. One is LIC and SBI have investigated the investors of Adani, and they have determined that, okay, they are very good. These are the things that we have done. These are the due diligence that we have done. You could have done 5 instead of doing 8 due diligences. But you should say, these are the due diligences we have done, and therefore we are okay to be there. Mark to market or the investment that we have made 3 times, 4 times, they are all not relevant. What is relevant is, did you try to understand the investors of your client? Explicitly, RBI has said this, that you have to go and look at the connected people of the client, which I have, which is there in the slide. Explicitly, whatever RBI has said, every financial institution, every police, every constable should follow. I mean, forget about big guys. Even a constable has to follow what RBI has said. So in such kind of scenario, why at all did SBI not look into investors of Adani? That is question number 1. The question number 2 is, if it has looked into the investors of Adani, it should have come out saying that we have looked into the investors of Adani, and these are all the things that we have followed, and they are good. Particularly when $100 billion is being lost, why did SBI not come out saying that, okay, we have looked into the investors, they are good? They should have told immediately, right? This is people's money. Forget whether it is 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore, 30,000 crore, even 1 crore, 1 rupee. You cannot invest 1 rupee into illegal activities without knowing that the promoters are not legal, not fully legal. Or if you know that the promoters are fully legal, you should have come out and say, hey, these promoters are good. We have included these transactions, we have looked into these transactions, and they're good. Why did you come out with that? Forget about how much money people have made. We have made good money, we have made less money. That's not important. What is important is, did you follow the law? Did you follow the legal procedure? Even before investing 1 rupee, you should have investigated the venture capitals, the private equity, the promoters of Adani Group, in all of the Adani Groups, not just one. Believe me, it's not just one. You have to go through each one of the employee group, each one of the subsidiaries. It is not illegal to have many subsidiaries. So a Adani group can have 500, they have alleged that 506 legal entities are there. It is not illegal. Lot of banks, lot of companies do that because of transactional issues. They'll say, okay, this company to that company. It's not illegal. It is completely legal. You can have as many subsidiary companies as you want. But it is the responsibility of the public institutions, or for that matter, any financial institution, to follow RBI rules. The rule says what is the connectivity between the promoter and the company, and what is the connectivity between the promoter and any other investors in the company. Why did you not look into it? And if you have looked into it, you should come out. You should come out and tell, why did you delay? $100 billion has been lost. Wouldn't have been lost if you had come out and say, hey, Hindenburg, we have done this, we have done this, we have done this, these guys are good. $100 billion wouldn't have lost. Forget about how much people have paid. It is not important that people got money or lost money. Profit and loss are part of the business. LIC can put money in one company and lose. That's part of the business. SBI can put money in one company and lose. It's part of the business. That's how business works. But SBI, LIC cannot put a investment in an illegal company. You have to make sure, 100% you have to make sure that everything connected to the company is 200% legal. That is not only one paper, but two to three papers, 2 to 3 verifications have to be done, and you have not done it is relevant because you have not come out with it. For last 1 week, there is no message from SBI or LIC that we have followed these regulations. So because of these regulations we followed, or because of these transactions we have followed, we are certifying the promoters as good. That would have solved the problem. The other major impact of this is how many people like Adani have used SBI. How many other companies have used SBI and LIC? And did you go through each one of the promoters? Did you go through each one of the subsidiary of the promoters? Did you do the verification of each one of them? This is not about earning money or losing money. This is about following the law as it's written. Did you follow the law? And if you have not followed the law, then you should be fined. The chairman should be jailed. The employees should be jailed. This is what happens in every other country. HSBC did banking transactions in South America, Brazil, right? Where they did not look into KYC documents of drug dealers. And they got fined how much? More than $50 billion in US and also Hong Kong. Hong Kong gave its own fine. Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, HSBC, right? Just do a Google. HSBC pays fines. You will know how much fine they pay. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, any one of them, however big they are, if they are involved in any one of the activities of not doing the suspicious transaction report or suspicious activity report, they will have to pay 10 times the fine for which the bank has got the money from. So hopefully you guys will look into this more seriously and take it further, and we will unravel more things. Yes, there are more things, systemic issues, because if Adani is wrong, it's only one person. But if bank is wrong, then you can have as many Adanis as possible, as many people as possible who will milk the thing. And who is the biggest loser? If confidence in Indian systems go away, if confidence about Indian policing goes away, then the immediate thing is people will pull off the money. People will say, I don't know whether they follow the law. But if I don't follow the law, I will get fined by US. So I am going out. I don't know anything. I'm just out. Credit Suisse did that. Citibank did that. And before other companies do that, not only for Adani, for other scripts, Indian government, SEC, Enforcement Directorate, Director of Revenue Intelligence must come out with a proper investigation, a proper transparent investigation. People should also, believe in your investigation. Not only normal people, even sophisticated people. In Adani's case, you see that investors have not believed him. In local investors, retail investors have not believed him. What kind of systematic institutions are we running? When SBI comes and says everything is okay, the stock price falls. What kind of credibility does SBI have? When LIC comes and says, mark to market is good, we are having good profits, stock fell. Shame on you. Shame on you. People have lost confidence in the systems. And it is upon the government, it is upon the people who are running in these institutions to come out with an investigation, proper investigation that gives them credibility. Forget about US, forget about Britain, all those guys are different. Indians should believe, Indians should have confidence that you are doing your job. RBI, Indians should be confident that you are doing your job. Enforcement Directorate, which has a abysmal track record of convictions. Very abysmal, not even 1%. Shame on you. So if this doesn't happen and the drugs money keeps coming and going, the big problem will be India will also become another country like say Mexico, like Colombia, like Venezuela. People are running away from there. People are literally running away from their country, taking small kids, saying that I can't live here anymore. That is the effect of drug money in a country. It devastates, it kills the nation. The nation dies. People just flee from it. Okay? So hopefully things will work out and the institutions will gain back their credibility. So let's hope for the best and look forward for the next. Thank you and you have a wonderful day. Bye.